Hello, hello. Welcome, world. Hello, beautiful people. It's lovely to have you all. Welcome today. I am so excited for today's topic. It was always my dream to find out how I could build a life and have it all. And I am so excited to share what I've learned in my journey with you about to help you so you can have it all. And especially as a woman in business. So Kelly, thank you for being here. Good to see you too. Lovely to know that you can see me and hopefully you can hear me okay. I am in my living room today at my home, and let me know if you can hear me okay and that the audio is coming clear. And that there's no background noise or anything. And if there is, I apologize, though there's some other things going on in the house today, so that may be it. But I have some very exciting things to share today. And so let's dive in and talk about how the audio is clear. There's a little background noise, but we can hear you fine. Okay, yeah, the background noise should just it should go in a bit. So what I want to dive into is how you can really have it all. What does that even mean? What does it mean to really have it all? And what it means is not to have every flavor of ice cream there is, or every car there is out there. There's infinite choices to be made in this life. And what's important is what's important to you. So having it all for you may look completely different and should look completely different than someone else's version of having it all. And this is a really important piece to understand, because you are unique and you want to have and are here to have a unique life experience. And when you compare your life experience to somebody else's, you may, whatever their version of having it all is, may not really apply to you and your unique life journey. So while it's great to take inspiration from others and notice what you're inspired by, or sometimes even if you feel like someone has something or is living a certain lifestyle that you feel drawn to, even if you feel a little jealous or envy of someone, that is a sign that's telling you that there's some element of that you actually want to and are meant to have and experience in your life. The success they have, the way they show up, the way they dress, the confidence they wear, all of that. And so pay attention to what inspires you, who in the world inspires you, who is a role model for you, and also who you even feel a little bit envy or jealous of. It's considered bad or wrong, at least as I grew up, it was considered wrong to feel jealous and envy. And that's wrong. And yeah, to stay there does not serve you, but it's a great way to learn more about yourself and your life and what you're really meant to live. And so really paying attention to that and noticing what elements you are drawn to is going to help you create the clear picture of what it means for you to have it all. What does that really look like for you? And it can be a culmination of all of these different inspirations and things that you're drawn to. And then you might even get some ideas and inspiration or desires from within yourself, in your heart and soul, and your intuition can speak to you if you listen to it and take that into consideration as well. Then that will give you a more clear picture of what does it look like for you to have it all, and what does that life look like for you. And that is the first piece I want to share that's really important for you to get clarity on. And then we move into, well, okay, now I have a clearer picture on what does it look like for me to have it all, especially as a woman in business. So as a woman, you probably have a lot of desires. You probably want to have a family, you want to have a legacy with your family. You probably, or even if you don't, but some kind of a legacy for yourself, right? Whether it's kids or not, um, some kind of something that you can feel like is your legacy and that you can leave to the future generations. And you may want to have your business, or you may already have your business, and you may want to create more growth and more value in the world through it. And money, lots of money, opulence, affluence, even, or just comfort, maybe a comfortable lifestyle for what you want to do, if you want to travel or not, whatever it may be for you. As women, I know I have all of these desires, and I always had the question of how can I have it all? And I even had doubts and judgments around, well, I shouldn't want it all, like that's maybe wrong, or doubts like, well, I've heard that you can't have your cake and eat it too. Like you have to pick and choose. Like if I want to have a family, I can't have a business, or vice versa. So if you have any of those thoughts, like I did, then you can relate, and I can relate to where you are. And the thing I would say to you is that once you have seen someone that you can see as a role model who does have it all the different aspects that you want to have, once you have seen it, once you have a role model for it, that answers it for you. Because if there's any one person even in the world who is able to live that life that you envision, or a version of it, then it is possible, and it can be possible for you. So if you already have a role model that you can that gives you that permission, that's great. If not, definitely look for a role model. Definitely look for someone that you can find who is already living and has embodied that version of lifestyle and that version of themselves that you envision yourself to be. And that brings me to the next part, which is, well, now once you have envisioned what your life, what having it all feels like and looks like for you, and you've also given yourself like this permission to have it all, and that like possibility, and opened up to the possibility that it is possible, and then that it can be possible for you, then the way to actually go about it is actually understand that there are all of these pieces, all of these, there's family, there's business, there's money, there's security, there's your travel goals or other hobbies or interests and contribution and legacy and all of it. Well, the only thing that's at the center of it all, and it's the common thread, and actually the center cornerstone, if you will, is you. You are the creator of it all. It's not, you're not at the effect of those, you are actually the creator of those. And so your outer world, all those aspects are the outer world. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world, who you are at your core. And so when you want to have it all in your outer world, you actually don't need to do a lot of things to try to control and manipulate the outer world aspects. The main thing that you need to do is focus on the inner world, which is you at your core, and focus on becoming the version of you that is the version that would automatically reflect all of these aspects in the way that you envision in your outer world. So your life is a reflection of who you are. And so if you want your life to be a certain way that you envision, then you need to ask yourself, who do you need to become as the creator of that life? What is the version of you that would automatically reflect that kind of a life for you, for yourself? And so when you shift the focus to who do I need to become, then your success is pretty much guaranteed, because as long as you become the version of yourself that's going to reflect that, then life is just going to reflect that. You don't need to struggle for it. And this is what I did, and I continue to do every single day. I do my inner world work so that the outer world reflects that. So another piece of this to understand, and if there are any questions that are coming up, feel free to put them in the comments or in the chat, and I'll get to them. The other piece that I want to connect this with is that all of those aspects, family, business, money, relationships, like kids, travel, all legacy, all of those aspects in your life, they may seem like they're disconnected or distinct, and they are distinct, but they're all inherently connected, because they're all connected through to you at the core, and then interconnected within themselves too. And because they're connected with you in this at the center, just like a spider web has a lot of different threads in it, but each thread is connected to the other and the other, and like that creates the whole web. If you've ever noticed a spider web, what happens is if you were to like put your fingers on a particular node, like of the spider web, and lift it up even a little bit, what's going to happen is it's not going to just lift the couple of threads that are connected to that node. It's going to end up lifting the entire spider web up, because that node is connected to those threads, and then those are connected to the rest of the threads. So the similar effect happens with any area of your life. If you do your inner world work to up-level yourself in your family relationships, it automatically will impact your business in some way. So if your self-confidence grows, right, then you will show up as a self-confident person in your family relationships, and you'll also show up as self-confident in your business and with your clients or with your other team members in your business. And that's going to up-level all of that, and it's going to bring in more money and more fulfillment through your business. And then it's going to help you with creating more of a legacy and maybe travel more, whatever your goals are. So If you learn to create healthy boundaries in a particular area in your business, maybe with your clients, you're going to be able to create healthy boundaries in your family or in your marriage too. And so that's going to uplevel the marriage or the family relationships as well. So the point is that you don't need to do 10 times more work or struggle 10 times more to have the overall uplifting effect, like that spider web being lifted. Actually, that's what a lot of people do because they think they have to struggle a lot more or work hard. He says, I never thought of it this way. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because we tend to want to control outcomes and manipulate things and think that's how we create, the life of having it all. And then we have to spend so much of time and energy, and it's such a big struggle versus when you realize that you are at the core of it, and when you focus on your inner world work, that has the effect of lifting the entire spider web by just lifting one node at a time. And so if you understand this on a deeper level, here's how I'm going to explain it. So I years ago, my uncle in India, I was in on a family trip. See, another example of how a family trip affected my business and the rest of the areas in my life, right? And here I am sharing it with you. So I was in India. I was born in India and I grew up there until I was in high school. So I have a really strong family background and foundation in India. And then I have been in the US for the last over a decade, 15, almost 20 years now. So I have the Eastern upbringing and then the Western experience now as well. And so when I was in the US, we used to still go back and visit family every year in India. So I was on this family trip in India, and my uncle, my maternal uncle, so my mom's brother, in India, we call them mama. So it's a very sweet relationship between mama and me, and he was sharing some really interesting books he had read and concepts he had learned through it. And one of the books he had read introduced this concept called the theory of constraints. And at first, I'm like, constraints, I don't like the word constraints. I'm all about freedom and abundance. And that's all great. But the theory of constraints, if I, once I understood it, I was like, this is brilliant. And the way that I put it, and I would explain it, is imagine a chain. So a chain, like if you have a bicycle, it has a chain, or a chain which has like all of these links, and then this link, interlinks with this link, and then there's another link, and so on. So there's a bunch of links, and they've been interlinked together to make this entire chain. And now you have a chain that is actually made up of all these individual links. So if I gave you a chain, and if I asked you to break it, like you get $1 million if you break this chain, um, it would be really smart if you find the weakest link in the chain and hit that spot, because the chain will always break. And even if you don't find the weakest spot, if you just pull on it or try to break it, you'll notice it always breaks at the weakest spot. Like whatever's the weakest link, the chain will always break there. And so the theory of constraints, and you can read the books to how it explains. I think it's a little complicated to learn it that way, but with this example and make it simpler, is that if you wanted to strengthen the entire chain, then do you really need to go and strengthen each and every link in the chain? I would say no, because the chain broke only at the weakest link, and that means strengthening only that one single link will not only strengthen that link, but it'll strengthen the entire chain, because now that chain can't break at that link. Of course, then what will happen is, and if you understand manufacturing and lean manufacturing or supply chain even, you may be familiar with the term bottleneck. So bottleneck is basically that weakest point in the process. And so if you want to strengthen the entire process and make it more robust, you need to just find that bottleneck, the weakest point or the point that's most stressed, and improve that one, strengthen that one, or reduce the stress off of that one so it strengthens it inherently. And what that does is it strengthens the entire chain, or that part no longer being a bottleneck will improve the entire process. And so when you identify the weakest link and improve that one, you're strengthening the entire chain. And so, in terms of your life and all of these areas, family, business, money, marriage, all of it, instead of trying to work on all of those at the same time and trying to strengthen all of the links in the chain of like your life, it's more effective and efficient and productive and result oriented. Actually gives you the best result if you find the weakest link in that moment, or the part that's a bottleneck, and focus only all your time, focus, and energy, money, and resources on strengthening that link. And what that does in turn is it will strengthen the entire chain. Now, what will happen naturally is that that particular link in your chain is no longer the weakest one. So when you pull on link, the link will probably break, but not at that point. It will probably break at a different point. A different link that was like the second weakest one earlier has suddenly become the weakest. So the theory of constraints and how I explain it is that you want to always look at the entire link, look at your entire life and find out what is the one area of your life, even if it's health, what is that one area that is the weakest link in the entire chain? And then focus your time and energy and money and resources to strengthen that link at one time until that one's so strong, it's like strengthened that it's no longer the weakest link anymore. And then you can find out, okay, which other area is the weakest link now? And then you focus your time, energy, and attention on that link and then strengthen that. Every time you find the weakest link and strengthen that, what happens is the entire chain strengthens, and then the next time it strengthens even more and even more, and that ripples into all other areas of life, so it keeps up leveling you. And that's how you can have it all by actually not focusing on all of it at the same time, at one single point in time. So it may be counterintuitive, because you might think to have it all, you have to like focus on and work on everything all at the same time. But if you try to do that, that can be overwhelming, that can burn you out, that can cause a lot of issues in health or relationships, business, like everywhere. And it can cause you to give up on all of it then and just settle and just think, oh, like maybe it's for other people, but it's not possible for me. So let me know. Yeah, Kelly says this makes total sense. Good way to set my priorities. Yes, and that's another way to think of it is the weakest link, and strengthening that is like that is your priority, and clarify what is the priority right now, and then focus on that. And whatever we focus on, we place our energy and attention. Whatever we place our attention on, we we give it more of our energy. And to up level and improve any particular area of your life, you have to give it a lot of your attention and energy consistently. And so that consistent energy and attention is key to totally up strengthening that area and up leveling your entire life, strengthening the entire chain. So the only prereq is understanding that the chain is connected. So understanding that all areas of your life are interconnected, and you as the creator are at the core of it. So with that, let's see if there are any questions. Let me know, put them in the chat. And the last thing I'm going to say on this is that a lot of times it can be scary to look at the weakest link. Even if you know that your health is the weakest link, you might have a lot of, inner self-talk or doubts and all of that around it that maybe even you've settled, maybe your marriage or your relationship, where you just like, it's as good as it can be and it's not going to get any better. So it's not worth me focusing on it. The truth is, there is infinite potential for growth in every area of your life, always. No matter how good it is, it can get better. And no matter how much work you've done, there is a next level. And so that's the beauty of this journey, is that there is no like end point. There's just a continuous infinite expansion. And that's the exciting part. And so, if you're finding yourself settling in an area where you really desire to have more or be more or enjoy more, but it's like you've kind of bought into the lies, societal lies or whatever, that this is just as good as it can get, and then I invite you to challenge that today and ask yourself, how can this area actually get better, and who do I need to be for it? And that's where, if you have resistance towards becoming the version of you that's required for that area to transform and go to the next level, it may require you to face some inner demons that you don't want to face. And those can be the resistances that can come up. And a lot of times they are blind spots for you. So it's harder for you. It's almost impossible for you to see it for yourself. But that's where a coach, a mentor, a guide comes into the picture, who can see that for you and reflect that reality back to you. So then you can see it clearly and you can move past it. You can move past the stuckness, the resistance, the resignation, I really desire this, but I can't have it, or I don't know how to have it, so I'm just going to give up. All of that, to actually having it all and being the best version of you. And that's what I call living. And that's what it is to be living your life fully. So if you have desires and you feel like you are stuck, or if you've settled for less than any of that, and if you're resonating with this, then this is your call to action today, to really move past those limitations and let your inner self, your free spirit, really shine. And look for the coaching or the mentoring or the guidance that is going to help you see the blind spots that you're not able to see for yourself. I literally had this happen with my client in this session where it was interesting. She's in my high end business growth group, and we talk about business growth in those sessions. But one of the sessions, she came in and she started saying things about the dynamics with her husband and her marriage. And she was about to get a second job to make ends meet or something. And I literally could not stop myself from telling her the truth and like showing her what was in her blind spot that she could not see. But I was able to like show her the picture of what I saw, and she saw it for herself, and she totally changed her plans and created the plans of what's more still aligned with her. But she said to me, you literally saved my life. I feel like you just saved my life. I feel like I was on this cliff, about to jump off and give up my life. And you just like grabbed me and pulled me back. And you just like showed me what I was about to do. And I didn't realize I was about to do that to myself. And like she was like, I can't thank you enough. But it's her that really created that for herself. She chose to invest in herself, get the support she needs, and really show up being willing to learn and see any blind spots that she may not have been able to see. And she is open to that kind of support, and all my clients are. And therefore, they receive that because compassion and care is at the core of heart-centered entrepreneurship that I'm passionate about, and that's what I bring through my brand, and that's what I live by every day. And so that's what my client experienced, and she experienced that on a whole new level that day in that session just a couple weeks ago. And she's just like, I don't know how to thank you. And I'm like, you living your best life and you honoring yourself is the way that you can thank me, because that's what I really want to see. That's what brings me fulfillment. And I've been through the challenges that she was going through, so I was able to show her what was in her blind spot. And so the other thing that happened is when she realized that for her husband, with her husband and her marriage, that also then automatically up leveled her business. She was able to make business decisions and get unstuck on the different things she was feeling stuck on, like the financial like setup and her system. She was just stuck on getting her accounting system up for a long time. But it wasn't really the accounting system setup that was a complicated thing. And she knew that. But it had to do with how her dynamic was with her husband in her marriage. And all of that was actually keeping her stuck on the business side of things. So see how it was interconnected and interrelated. And when she had a breakthrough in this area, it's just like immediately unstuck her from her business, and she got her accounting system set up, and now she's open to making sales and having more clients come in and all of that, because now she has the peace of mind that her accounting system is set up and capable of handling more revenue coming in and all of the business growth. So Kelly says, I resonate. Thank you for sharing this message today. You're welcome. You're so welcome. And so understanding that interconnectedness is key, and knowing that when you're focusing on one area, it is automatically up-leveling all other areas of your life, as long as you are focused on the inner world work and who you're becoming through it. So become the version of you that has the life that you envision, that's having it all for you, so that you automatically do the things that that version of you would do that's required to create the life that you want. And then you'll have it all, have a life where you can say, I have it all. And that is your version of having it all. So be careful that your version of having it all may not be equal to someone else's. And that's okay. Not only that's okay, it's important for you to have your own unique version. So with that, I have a quote, and it is, work hard on self-improvement and work smart everywhere else. So with that, I'm not seeing any questions in the chat right now, but if you are watching this later on the recording and have any questions, feel free to leave those in the comments and I will get back to you. And I have a really exciting announcement to make. And so, because I've noticed this with my clients a lot, where their different areas of their life are interconnected and how that affects the overall quality of their life, I've created a customized package of how you can become you can have it all by becoming the best version of yourself. And that's what we do. So you can have your dream career or business, and I have business programs too. But this particular package is designed specifically for you. If you are like, I am a woman and I have desires and I don't want to compromise on any area of my life. I want to have it all. I want to have my cake, eat it too, feed it to my kids, like have the legacy and all of it, and do it all with ease and fun and being in flow, and have solid structures that carry me and support me and bring the safety and security to me. All of that is possible for you. And if you feel like you need hand holding, if you just want to explore that with me, if you're watching this right now, I have an abundance call that I offer where we can explore together what having it all looks like for you and how you can do it and have it for yourself. So the link to schedule your abundance call with me is in the description below. And it's on a webpage through my website. So definitely encourage you to go ahead and schedule your abundance call with me if you'd like to talk further on how you can have it all and how you can have the hand holding and guidance through the process, so you don't waste your precious time, because life is short. Life is too short to struggle and suffer. And I've totally opted out of the struggle and suffering from my life, and that's what I want for you. So with that, we will conclude for today. I will be live again next week. And if you liked the content today, hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel for more content, and check out the other videos I have as well. Stay in touch, stay in high vibe energy to become the best version of you every day and continue to grow. So lots of love to you. Abundant vibes and blessings. Take care. Have a beautiful day.